It was supposed to be the best summer ever. The sun was shining, the days were long, and the possibilities seemed endless. It was supposed to be the best summer ever. The sun was shining, the days were long, and the possibilities seemed endless. For 10-year-old Ben Tennyson, this was the perfect time to embark on an unforgettable adventure. Ben was on a cross-country road trip with his grandpa Max and cousin Gwen. They were traveling in Grandpa Max's old but reliable camper van, affectionately named the Rust Bucket. The trio had planned to explore national parks, visit quirky roadside attractions, and enjoy the great outdoors. Grandpa Max, a retired plumber with a mysterious past, was the perfect guide for their journey. Gwen, Ben's intelligent and resourceful cousin, was always ready with a witty remark or a helpful suggestion. Together, they made a great team. Little did Ben know, adventure was about to come crashing down in the most unexpected way. One evening, as they set up camp in a dense forest, the sky lit up with a brilliant flash. A meteor streaked across the night sky, leaving a trail of light behind it. It was a breathtaking sight, but what happened next was even more astonishing. The meteor crashed deep in the woods, creating a loud boom that echoed through the trees. Ben, always curious and eager for excitement, couldn't resist the urge to investigate. He ran towards the crash site, his heart pounding with anticipation. There, amongst the smoldering wreckage, Ben discovered a strange watch-like device. It was unlike anything he had ever seen before, with a sleek design and glowing symbols. This was no ordinary watch. It was the Omnitrix, a powerful device capable of transforming its wearer into various alien heroes, each with unique abilities. The Omnitrix attached itself to Ben's wrist with a sudden click. He tried to remove it, but it wouldn't budge. Confused and a little scared, Ben had no idea what he had just stumbled upon. As he examined the device, it began to glow and hum with energy. Before he knew it, Ben was enveloped in a bright light. He was confused at first, unsure of what was happening. Then, something incredible occurred. The Omnitrix transformed him into an alien hero. Ben looked at his new form in amazement. He had become Heat Blast, a fiery alien with the power to control fire. Each alien had unique powers. Heat Blast could control fire, creating flames and heat at will. It was an exhilarating experience for Ben. Another transformation turned him into Diamond Head, a living crystal with the ability to generate and manipulate crystal shards. Ben marveled at his new shimmering form. Then there was Four Arms, a towering alien with incredible strength. Ben felt invincible, ready to take on any challenge that came his way. Ben was thrilled with his newfound powers. He imagined all the fun he could have and the adventures he could embark on. He thought it would be all fun and games, using his alien forms to play pranks and impress his friends. But soon, Ben realized that the Omnitrix came with great responsibility. He had no idea the weight of the duty that lay ahead. Ben quickly learned that being a hero wasn't easy. The Omnitrix was tricky to control, often transforming him into the wrong alien at the most inconvenient times. Imagine turning into gray matter, a super smart but tiny alien, in the middle of a fight. It was frustrating and chaotic. Ben would often find himself in sticky situations, transforming into the wrong alien just when he needed a specific power. Despite the challenges, Ben was determined to master the Omnitrix. He knew that with great power came great responsibility. He trained hard, learning to control his transformations and harness the unique abilities of each alien form. Ben knew he had to use the Omnitrix power for good, to protect those who couldn't protect themselves. His journey as a hero was just beginning, and he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Learning to use the Omnitrix was a real challenge. The transformations were wild and unpredictable. One minute, Ben would be a hulking Four Arms, punching his way through robots. The next, he'd be Stinkfly, the bug-like alien trying to navigate a ventilation shaft. It was a recipe for hilarious mishaps and near disasters. Imagine trying to eat a burger as Wild Mutt, an alien with no eyes and a super sense of smell. Talk about messy. But Ben's early adventures weren't all laughs. There were times when he doubted himself. The weight of responsibility was heavy, especially for a 10-year-old. He made mistakes. Sometimes his actions had unintended consequences. Ben realized that being a hero wasn't just about having cool powers. It was about making the right choices, even when it was hard. Despite the challenges, Ben never gave up. He learned from his mistakes. With every transformation, he gained more control over the Omnitrix. His determination and courage began to shine through. Ben began to understand that being a hero wasn't about perfection. It was about getting back up and trying again, no matter how many times he stumbled. Ben's adventures attracted the attention of some seriously bad guys. First up was Vilgax, an evil alien warlord obsessed with stealing the Omnitrix. Vilgax was big, mean, and determined to get his tentacles on Ben's watch. Their battles were legendary. From exploding spaceships to underwater showdowns, Ben and Vilgax clashed across the globe. Then there was Dr. Animo, a mad scientist who loved mutating animals into monstrous creatures. Animo's creations were always a handful. Giant mutant mosquitoes? Check. A super intelligent chicken that could control minds? Check. Ben had to use all his wits and alien powers to stop Animo's crazy schemes. And let's not forget Kevin 11, a teenage delinquent with the ability to absorb energy. Kevin was jealous of Ben's powers and wanted the Omnitrix for himself. Their rivalry was intense. They fought on skateboards, in junkyards, even at the mall. Kevin was a tough opponent, always pushing Ben to his limits. Section 4. The Weight of the Watch. Ben's growth into responsibility. As Ben faced more and more dangerous villains, he started to understand the true weight of the Omnitrix. It wasn't a toy. It was a powerful tool that came with a heavy responsibility. Each encounter with a new adversary brought new challenges and new lessons. The Omnitrix was not just a device. It was a symbol of his duty to protect those who couldn't protect themselves. The Omnitrix was a powerful tool that came with a heavy responsibility. It had the potential to change the course of events, to save lives, and to bring about peace. But it also had the potential to cause great harm if misused. Ben had to learn to wield it wisely, to understand its limits and its capabilities. He saw the destruction his enemies caused, the fear in people's eyes, the devastation left in the wake of battles was a constant reminder of the stakes involved. The cries for help, the looks of desperation, and the chaos that ensued were all etched into his memory. These experiences shaped his resolve and steeled his determination to make a difference. Ben realized that he couldn't just use the Omnitrix for fun anymore. The days of carefree adventures were over. He had to be more thoughtful, more strategic. Every decision he made had consequences, not just for him, but for everyone around him. The weight of this realization was heavy, but it was also empowering. He had to use it to protect the innocent and make a real difference in the world. This meant stepping up in ways he had never imagined. It meant putting others before himself, even when it was difficult. It meant being a hero in the truest sense of the word. And with each act of bravery, he grew more confident in his abilities. This realization didn't come easy. There were moments of doubt, times when he questioned his own strength and resolve. The path of a hero is never straightforward. It is filled with trials and tribulations, with moments of darkness and light. But it is in these moments of struggle that true character is forged. There were times when Ben wanted to give up, to just be a normal kid again. The allure of a simple, carefree life was strong. He missed the days when his biggest worry was what game to play next. But deep down, he knew that his destiny was greater than that. He had been given a gift, and with it, a responsibility that he could not ignore. The pressure of being a hero was immense. The expectations, the constant vigilance, the need to always be ready. It was a lot for anyone to handle, let alone a young boy. But Ben was not just any boy. He had a strength of spirit that set him apart. He had a heart that was willing to bear the burden, no matter how heavy it became. But deep down, Ben knew he couldn't ignore the call to action. The Omnitrix had chosen him for a reason. It had seen something in him that was special, something that was capable of greatness. And so, he embraced his role, with all its challenges and rewards. He stood firm in his resolve, ready to face whatever came his way. He had the power to help, and with great power came great responsibility, as his Grandpa Max always said. These words echoed in his mind, guiding him in moments of doubt. Grandpa Max was his mentor, his guide, and his source of wisdom. His teachings were a constant source of strength for Ben, reminding him of the importance of his mission. With each passing adventure, Ben's confidence grew. He became more adept at using the Omnitrix, more skilled in his transformations. He learned to trust in his abilities, to believe in himself. This newfound confidence was not just about his powers, but about who he was as a person. He was becoming the hero he was always meant to be. He learned to control his transformations, mastering the unique abilities of each alien form. Each form had its own strengths and weaknesses, its own set of skills. Ben took the time to understand each one, to learn how to use them to their fullest potential. This mastery was not just about power, but about understanding and respect for the abilities he had been given. He became a strategic thinker, using his powers creatively to outsmart his opponents. He learned to think on his feet, to adapt to changing situations. His battles were not just about brute strength, but about intelligence and cunning. He worked with his friends, strategizing and planning, always looking for the best way to achieve their goals. But more importantly, Ben's heart grew as big as his alien muscles. He developed a deep sense of empathy and compassion. He understood the pain and suffering of others, and he was determined to alleviate it. His actions were driven by a genuine desire to help, to make the world a better place. This was the true mark of a hero. He developed a strong sense of justice, always standing up for what was right, no matter the odds. He became a beacon of hope for those in need, a symbol of courage and integrity. His journey was not just about fighting villains, but about standing up for what he believed in. And in doing so, he inspired others to do the same. Section 5. Family bonds and alien battles, the power of teamwork. Throughout his adventures, Ben wasn't alone. He had a support system that was always there for him, no matter how dire the situation. This support system was his family, who played a crucial role in his journey. His cousin Gwen and Grandpa Max were always by his side. They were more than just family. They were his teammates, his confidants, and his biggest supporters. They shared in his victories and helped him through his defeats. Gwen, with her quick wit and knowledge of magic, often provided crucial assistance during battles. She was a formidable ally, using her intelligence and magical abilities to turn the tide in their favor. Her resourcefulness and determination were invaluable assets. She was the brains to Ben's brawn, coming up with clever plans and strategies to defeat their enemies. Whether it was devising a plan to outsmart a villain or using her magic to protect her family, Gwen's contributions were always significant. Max, a retired plumber with a mysterious past, offered wisdom and guidance, teaching Ben valuable lessons about courage and responsibility. His experience and knowledge were crucial in navigating the challenges they faced. Max's stories and advice often provided the moral compass that guided Ben's actions. Together, they formed an unstoppable team. Their combined strengths and unwavering support for each other made them a formidable force against any adversary. They complemented each other perfectly, each bringing something unique to the table. They faced down giant robots, outwitted evil scientists, and even traveled to other dimensions to save the day. Their adventures were filled with danger and excitement, but they always managed to come out on top because they worked together. Through thick and thin, they had each other's backs, proving that family always comes first, even when battling intergalactic threats. Their bond was unbreakable, forged through countless trials and tribulations. Their bond went beyond just fighting bad guys. They shared moments of joy and sorrow, laughter and tears. They celebrated their successes together and supported each other through their failures. They learned to rely on each other, to trust each other's strengths and support each other's weaknesses. This mutual trust and respect were the foundation of their teamwork. They knew that they could count on each other no matter what. They laughed together, they argued like any normal family, and they always had each other's backs. Their relationship was not perfect, but it was real and strong. They were a family in every sense of the word. Ben realized that the true power of the Omnitrix wasn't just in its alien transformations, but in the love and support of his family. It was this realization that made him stronger and more determined to protect those he loved. The Omnitrix was a powerful tool, but it was his family that gave him the strength to use it to its fullest potential.